as you can see, I'm in here in my migrant workers shop with a bunch of teenage hens, and today is the day that we're going to get introduced to the big hens down at the regular coop, and I'm going to show you there are different stages and steps that you need to take. I do this every year, and I've really been successful with the way that I move them in to adapt to the bigger chicks, so stick around and I'm fixing to show you my method. Like I said before, my migrant worker's not happy because I'm using the shop right now, and I'm so excited about getting them out of here today. But you cannot just take baby chicks and put them into a coop with some bigger chicks, because they will harm them and they can kill them. But I guess these chicks right here are the ones that I'm moving. I'm moving 9 today, and they're about 8 weeks old. And I would have moved them earlier. Yep. I would have moved them earlier, but we had for the past 2 weeks, we've had really bad storms come through, and I have had bad luck when it comes to having chicks this size in bad weather. They tend to, I've had 3 die, and they drowned, and I swear a chicken can drown in an inch of water. If you think that is possible, it is true. But I'm going to move these today. Like I said, I could have moved them when they were 6 weeks old, but it's really best to move them when they're about 8 to 12 weeks old, and that's half of them today. I do this every year. I always buy way too many chicks. I always say that I'm going to buy about 6, but I have 19. So we're going to take half of them, the older ones today, and in about 2 weeks, I'll take the next half down there and move them into the first stage, and I'm going to move the first group into the second stage. So stick around, I'm going to show you. As you can see, they're already very, very happy. I sprinkled it with a lot of Diatomaceous Earth just to get rid of worms and stuff, and something that they can take a little dust bath in. They're already eating bugs. But I've put them in an enclosure out here in the yard with my big coop, and this way the bigger hens can walk around the cage and get used to their smell and their sight and just their presence. Because I don't know if you've ever heard the term pecking order. The big hens will peck them, and some hens will peck baby chicks to death. We'll check on them in about 2 weeks, and I'm going to move them on into the coop, and I have an enclosure in there that I'll share with you also. Okay, it's been 2 weeks now, and I've moved my smaller chicks down here, and I've moved the older set that I did have down here into the coop, and I'm going to show you how I've got them set up. But they're going to stay there for 2 more weeks, and then I'm going to do a nighttime operative move, but it's been successful, but I'll share that a little bit later. But these are my barred rocks, my mystic marins, my buff orpingtons, and my well summers. But let me show you how I've got the older ones set up, so stick around. Okay, this is where I have my older chicks at, and what I did was I just took like an old child-proof cage that I had, and I put some chicken wire over the top of it. But you can make this out of PVC pipe, just some old wood, and just make it to where the bigger chicks can't get down in there with them, and they're going to stay here for a week or 2 and get used to the big hens and big chicks and
the turkey and the rooster. And I've never introduced chickens in with a turkey, so if you have any comments or any stories, please list them and tell me about them. Okay, it's nighttime, and that's my turkey who thinks he's a chicken. They're all up, perched up, and this is what I do. When they are all ready to be perched and go to sleep, I want you to see the little ones. See, they're in their cage. They are ready to go to sleep also. But I'm going to open this end of the cage. They won't come out tonight, but first thing in the morning, they'll slowly ease themselves out. And the bigger chicks won't even realize that they're among them. And like I said, it usually works. I've never done this with a turkey, so we're going to try it this year. All I'm doing is just removing the wire that's been keeping it. And I'm going to fold this back. Oh, I've got a wire right here. So fold this back. Tuck it. So in the morning they can get out and be walking around. I already have one that's looking at me like he's wanting to come out, but in the morning they'll be able to come out and mingle with the other ones, and usually the transition goes really smooth. So we'll see you in the morning. Okay, I've come down here this morning and this is what I wanted to show y'all. They can get out of this, but they are still inside their cage. Only one girl got out and mingled with the other ones this morning. But so far so good. It rained really, really hard last night. Probably scared them, but like I said, only one ventured out. But I'll show you a little later what happened, maybe in the afternoon. Okay, this is my second group of chicks that I've entered into the big coop. They're doing well. The bigger chicks are getting to know them now. And what's funny is the bigger chicks are staying in the run part, while the new chicks, the first batch of chickens that I let loose the other night, they are wanting to stay over on this side. And there has been plenty of pecking going on and getting to know each other. As you can see, there's one of the big chicks in here with them. She's doing a little pecking right now. But that's where the term pecking order comes into play. It's just part of integrating the chicks. It's normal. You cannot stop them. But they're doing well. And they're getting along. And I'm having to keep them in the coop right now because my migrant worker doesn't want them out because of his garden back there. So they're staying cooped up right now. And my last part will be letting these guys out one night next week. So stay tuned. Okay, it's been another 2 weeks and I am getting ready to let my second batch of chicks out, the younger ones. And tonight I'm going to open up the cage, but I always thought this is a nighttime covert operation or something. But the thing is if when I open this, I'm going to bet you 100% that they stay in here. And when I come back in the morning, they're probably going to do like the first group of chicks that I opened up. They're going to just sit in here and they're not going to come out. But I'm gonna take this out also tomorrow and let them mingle with the bigger chicks. The first group did really well. There has been some pecking, like I showed you in the last video, but that's normal. That's what chickens do. They sort of they show you who is in control, who's dominant, and who's the best coop. But what's so funny is I think you can see them. They're all up there on top roosting tonight. And also I had to kick my turkey out of the coop. He grew up as a chick with my regular chickens, and they got along pretty well. But when I let my first group of chicks out, he was very aggressive and he was slinging them. So if y'all have any stories about chickens being mingled in with regular chicks, please put him in the comment. I don't know what to do with him. He's not coming back in here. Not until he shows he's not going to be aggressive with the younger chicks anymore. Alrighty, I'm fixing to open up the coop and let them out. And watch, they're just going to sit there. I don't want y'all to think that my turkey, I'm going to show you where he's roosting tonight when I get through with this. But I have a fence around my chicken coop so nothing can get to him. But he's been roosting on top of the coop at night. He's been out of here for about a week because I couldn't trust him around my younger chicks. But I'll show you when I get out of here. These are my older chicks right here, roosting here tonight. And if you can believe it, one of the little roosters, he jumped out on the side. I cannot believe he even come out to explore tonight. The other ones, I don't know if y'all can see them. They are on their little stick in the coop. They're not coming out. I don't think they'll be out tonight. This is where my turkey is roosting right now, since he had to be kicked out for hurting the baby chicks. But you can see how pretty the sky is tonight. But he's happy. He's loud. Okay, it's the next morning, and I was sort of right. Most of them stayed in the enclosure, and today is going to be cleanup day for the coop and removing this cage. And Outlaw, he is still outside. I'm going to let him out with him, but watch him real close. But I did have Luke. I don't know where he went, but my little rooster, he was brave enough to, here he is. He was brave enough to get out and mingle and eat with the big chicks. There's Ruth and Samson. Okay, it's the next day, and the coop's been cleaned out, and everybody seems to be getting along, even the rooster. There's still pecking orders going on as we eat, just to show the smaller ones who's the boss. Like I said, this is one of the two of the babies, and they're actually eating with the big chicks today. So everything's going pretty good. We cleaned out all their nesting boxes, and we put their sandbox back in with Diatomaceous Earth mixed in with it. And like I said, they're doing really, really well. You have to integrate them very slowly. Or it just won't get along. Some things I want you to remember about when you are bringing in chicks with existing older hens and a rooster maybe, is just remember that chickens are very territorial animals. They really can harm your baby chicks by pecking them, and if they're too young, and they can injure them and even kill them. But like I said, I like to wait to introduce them till they're about at least 6 weeks old, but my preference is about between 8 and 12 weeks old, when they're a little bit older and they have their primary feathers already for a little bit of protection. And another thing, most importantly, just introduce them slowly. Give them a period of time to see each other, smell each other, walk around each other, get used to their presence without being able to touch them. And the second thing is introduce your chickens properly. Like I said, I use that nighttime stealth method, but it works best for me. You don't have to do that, but it works better for me because that way the chicks can sort of come out in the morning and their presence isn't a shock to them or the older chickens. Just remember, there's going to be scrapping and there's going to be jostling, and they're establishing a pecking order at this point. It's natural, but if you see one of your chicks really injured or maybe bleeding, remove them, and remove them for about a day or so, and then try to introduce them again. They just are letting each other know who's dominant and who is the alpha female or male in this coop. And most of the time it doesn't hurt them, but just give them a little bit more time. These are some tips I'm going to give you, and I hope they really help you. But when you introduce chicks together, try to introduce about the same type of breed, or maybe keep all the same breed. They're more accepting to newcomers, breeds are. And some breeds are more aggressive than others. I like Buff Orpingtons and Barred Rocks. Dominickers are real calm, but there are some that are a little bit more aggressive. I know some Rhode Island Reds are aggressive, and I have a couple French Marins that they're my dominant hens, and they're a little aggressive. And also remember, it is best to introduce 3 or more chickens at a time. There are power in numbers. Let me tell you, they will group together and stay together, and it helps in their protection. Another thing, overcompensate. Put waters out in different areas, put their feeders out in different areas. You may want to expand your coop, spread out. Also, you may have seen in the video, I have bins that have little holes cut out in them. That gives the chick a escape route. They can run in there away from the rooster, and the rooster can't get in there. And some of my hens will get in there, but it gives the chick a chance to escape from being overwhelmed. Another thing is distract with treats. When you introduce them, throw some food out, throw them out in different areas so they can mingle and without pecking each other or trying to steal each other's food. Patience is key. It is so hard to watch the drama go on in a chicken coop. The older hens are going to intimidate those babies, and they are going to pull their feathers out, and they are going to chase them, and it's hard to watch. Just make sure that your chicks are eating and drinking. Sometimes the older hens will keep them away from the food. Just watch them. Make sure that they are getting the food and the water that they need, or they can die. But I hope this video helps you out. Chickens are tough animals, but they are fragile animals also. I have lost chicks in this process. It's still sad sometimes today. I did not lose any chicks in this process this go round. So like I said, I'm hoping this will help you. Give me a thumbs up, share some comments, and also subscribe to the videos. I'm going to share some other things with y'all, but like I said, thank you for watching. That I had to keep all the kids. This big storm is a ruin. It wasn't like this about 5 minutes ago. But anyways, let me show you the rest. Okay, but it's an old gate that I had to keep. Somebody had it for like dogs, but I'm using it for my chickens.